All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? So, in terms of administrative stuff, we are almost to spring break, huh? Next week is our last week before spring break. And we have agreed to move our exam to the 7th, right? Which is a week from today. I plan on sending out some sort of review to help guide you on this exam. It'll cover everything up through, well, let's see how today goes. But whatever we do on Thursday will not be on the test on Tuesday, all right? And then, the 9th we'll come in and we'll just kind of start the next section. We're a little behind right now, but no big deal. Also, did y'all get my email about jury duty? Yes? Okay, so I did the Zoom yesterday and I got picked for jury duty. So tomorrow I've got to go downtown. It should not impact you all, other than I won't be in my office tomorrow at all. So no normal office hours tomorrow, all right? Just letting you know. And then hopefully I won't get picked to actually be on a jury. I'm going, they're going to pick from a group. I don't know. They somehow weeded us from 500 down to 60. And then we go to the courthouse and the lawyers pick whoever they want. So hopefully I don't get picked.
If they ask you a bunch of questions, just answer yes. I am very racist to all of them.
Yeah.
And they won't pick you.
Yeah, I was thinking about going in with a Bible or something under my arm, or something like that. I don't know, just something that makes me one way or the other, right? Burn, let them burn. I don't know. I think if you say you have a lot of family and friends in law enforcement, then that usually gets you off. But all right, let's get into today. I've been debating a quiz right now. Let's do a practice quiz. All right, let's act like this is a quiz. All right, stick out a sheet of paper. Come on, it's Monday, it's Tuesday. What is it? You know what day it is? Let's see if you can handle this. Chain rule, right? We did last time. And I'm expecting that you all tried to do the homework. And you might have some questions, but let's just see if you can handle these, all right? I'm going to give you 2 problems. For both of these, I want you to find the derivative of these, f prime of x. So the first one, f of x equals, let's go with x to the 4th, sine of 4x. And the second one, same instructions, find the derivative, where the function is, let's go sine of 4x plus x to the 4th. All right, let's take a good, 6 minutes, see how much you can get in 6 minutes. Welcome back, by the way. Oh, yeah, you can have your formula sheets. Just try and do this without any notes or anything else. I just want you to try and use your formulas. Morning. We're doing a practice quiz. We're acting like it's a quiz, but it's not a quiz, maybe. It's like are you ready for what we're going to do today? While you're doing that, I'm going to pass your quizzes back from last time. Good morning. That's a, it's like a practice quiz, right? So just see if you can. Do you want to be like over on this side so you can see a little better? I'll roll the chair over there for you. I don't know how this chairs have gotten so messed up in here, but yeah. Jordan? Where's Jordan? There you are. Marcus? Dalton. Gabby's not here. Ashley. Brandon. Lewis. Sophia. There you go. There you go. It's your quiz from last time. Hector. Jacob, Elijah, there you are. Oops. Yamna, I don't see Yamna. Sitlali, there you are. There you go. Isaiah R. Amanda. Make sure I give you just Juan Rivera. There you are. Dominic. I do plan on dropping at least one quiz grade. Emily. So let's see. Stephen. Alan. Okay. Matthew? Daza? There you go. No, here you go. Yep. Did I miss anybody? What's your last name?
Ortiz.
Were you here for the quiz last time? You were? Good. Did you see a grade online for it? You did? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I think it was the day we could use our notes and I forgot my notes.
What? I'm not sure why I wrote that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I put +2, but you did the derivative the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know why I did that. Okay, whatever, okay. All right. How many of you are done with this? Raise your hand. Okay, good. I think most of you are done. So let's grade, you grade your own, okay? You ready? So on this first one, taking derivative, what do we need to do? Product rule, right? We see a product right here. So we run the product rule, so we always start with the derivative of the first one. And let's do this. Let's go around, let's take volunteers, but please raise your hand. And then once you answer today, you can't answer anymore until we go around through everyone, all right? All right, so who wants to volunteer the first part of this? Go ahead.
4x cubed.
4x cubed, all right, so that's a derivative of that. You want to keep going?
Sine 4x.
Sine of 4x. Okay, good.
Plus 4x.
plus.
4x to the power of 4.
So, okay, I know what you're doing. Hold on a second. Let's just talk about this. We took derivative of this times this, right? And now we need derivative of the sine of 4x, which is going to require what? Chain rule, right? Okay, so let's move on to someone else because I want to get through everyone. So who wants to take the second half of this? Go ahead. Cosine of what? What goes in the argument there? 4x, okay. Okay, I agree there's an x to the fourth, but there's something missing here. Your chain rule, right? We take derivative of this, so we have a function inside of a function. So first you start with the outer function, derivative sine is cosine of 4x. Then you must take derivative of what's inside of here, which is 4, so that should be right here. And then you can clean this up, but that's the raw derivative. Anybody have a question on that?
On exams, do you prefer the raw derivative or?
That's the bare minimum of what I need you to be able to do is calculate the raw derivative. If you want to like move this 4x to the fourth in front of the cosine, that's fine. All right, but for this exam next week, show me you can do the calculus part, right, which is the chain rule and the product rule and all that. All right, that's the first one. Okay, who wants to give me the second one over there? You can go?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Let's see. We're going to start with, it's going to be cosine.
Okay, so you see composition of two functions here. This is inside of this, so
Yeah.
cosine, and then in that,
The argument stays the same, so it's going to be 4x plus x to the fourth.
I like the way you said that. The argument's going to stay the same. We're not touching what's inside.
And then times.
Times, not plus, right? Times. Go ahead.
We're going to have the derivative of the inside, so that's going to be, in parentheses, 4 plus 4x to the third.
There you go. That's it. When you take the derivative of the inside here, because there's addition, you can do them separately. Are you okay with there? Okay. All right. Any questions on that? So I wanted you to kind of grade your own, you know. If you passed this, if you feel like you did good, maybe you missed the 4. How much should you take off if you missed the 4? If that's all you missed here, let's say this problem is worth 10 points. How much should we take off for missing the 4? What do y'all think? How many of you think I should take off nothing for missing the 4? How about 1 point? Take off 1 point for missing the 4. 2 points? 2 points? 3? 4? 5? 6? 7? 8? 9? 10? So y'all think that's what did you say, about 2-3 point mistake? Yeah, I guess so. I'd say more of a 3 point mistake. Because if you miss that 4, you're missing the whole point, right? That's the chain rule. And so everything's off after that, right? If you have to do something with this later. So, you know, if I take off 3 points out of 10, that means you have a 70% for this problem, which means you're, you know, 70% is C, low C, like, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't take off like this is a 0 if you missed the 4. Okay, so you have graded your own work. I hope that you passed, all right? If you didn't pass, you're probably not ready. You need to continue to practice chain rule. Now, questions over homework. Can I address anything homework-wise? No questions on the chain rule homework. Everybody did the homework, had no problems. Yeah? Y'all know I wasn't feeling good last week, right? I'm still getting over this, right? After your class, I had my Cal 2 class, and I was really grumpy, didn't feel good. And they pissed me off. I don't get pissed off very often, but they pissed me off because they were asking me questions about homework problems from like 2 sections ago that they should have done, and I was getting very irritated because they're Cal 2 students. It's like, I shouldn't have to take you by the hand and make you do your homework, right? You're a Cal 2 student. Well, in this class, I'm a little more forgiving, but I'm expecting you're doing your homework, right? And that's where the questions come, and not just watching me do your homework videos, right? The homework videos, just watching me and going, yeah, I got it, understood, right? You need to be putting the time in. So there's no questions? You sure? How many of you, just show of hands, how many of you feel pretty okay with chain rule? Like you're not, like you feel pretty okay. All right, that's good, that's good. Anybody feeling unsure? I mean, anybody, it's kind of like chain rule is a little throwing them off?
I get a little panicky at first.
Yeah?
I'm being honest, when I first see it.
Well, I want you to be honest, yeah.
Like when I first see it, I'm like freak out a little bit because I'm like, which one do I start with versus the chain rules? Like, do I start, because if I see a composition, I'm like, do I start with this, this, or this, and then just take a breath and look at it?
Yeah.
Usually I can figure it out, or I start it and then I realize it's completely wrong and then restart it.
Yeah.
Besides panicking for a brief, like, hot minute.
Yeah. I think one of the big challenges for you in the calculus with this chain rule, product rule, quotient rule, all this, is when you see the problem, first of all, feeling confident that you're going to get to the answer, like feeling like, okay, this is I'm going to get through this. But then also recognizing when you see, when it's a product versus when it's just a pure chain rule problem, right? And not confusing the two. Knowing which order to do first, right? Do I do the product and then the chain is within that, or is there a product inside the chain? So all of that comes with practice, 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 practice. But that little kind of uneasiness is normal. It's natural. It's just you have to get to a comfort level with this stuff. Okay. Well, we could just keep on doing examples. Do y'all want to do a few more chain rule problems before we move into the next section? Yes? Okay. Let's do this. This will be fun. Fun for me. I'm just going to go to Google, and I'm going to somewhere around here on my Google, and I'm just going to do chain rule. Oops. Chain rule practice. PDF. Oh, I've searched it before. This is usually pretty good. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Is that zoom? No. Do y'all see zoom anywhere? There it is. Let's look at this one right here. Okay? So they give you y, and let's find the derivative of that. So I'm going to write here y prime. And so what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing this right here would be considered the base, and then I'm seeing the exponent of 3. So I'm seeing something that's being raised to the third power, right? Something to the third power. So if this were like an order of operations, you would do everything in here first, then after you do all that, then you would cube it, right? So there's my onion. I have an inside and an outside. When we differentiate, we always start with which one? Inside or outside? Outside. So this is where I was holding things up, right? And I've got a water bottle. So I have a water bottle cubed, right? What's the derivative of a water bottle cubed? 3 comes out, right? So we're doing power rule. 3 comes out. Okay, I heard what? Water bottle? So what goes in here? The same thing here. I do not touch that yet, right? And then raised to what power? Squared, right? Okay, so that's just the outer layer. And then times parentheses. Well, I may or may not need this, but I'm going to put them here. Now I take the derivative of what was down there. And what's the derivative of this right here? Who wants to? Go ahead.
Negative 15.
Negative 15, what?
Squared.
X squared. Okay. Do I have to have the parentheses here for this particular problem? No, because it's a single term, right? If there were two terms here, I'd need parentheses. But it's not wrong to put them in this particular case. That okay? No questions? Of course, you could do some other things, like you could bring this out in front with a 3, make that a negative 45. Let me write that down. Negative 45x squared, and then negative 5x cubed minus 3 squared. That would probably be a pretty nice, clean answer. Like I said, on the next test, if you give me that, I'm happy. Let's do one of these root ones. Let's do this one right here, top right here. Again, you've got a chain, you've got an inner and an outer function. Right? What's the outer function? The square root. What's the inner function? Negative 2x squared plus 1. Okay? Try it yourself. Take a second. Try it yourself. If you're stuck, I'll remind you, the derivative of the square root of something is what? Oops. 1 over 2 square root of that something, right? I'm going to silence my phone real quick. Am I done? What do I need to multiply this by? Whatever the derivative is of this inside piece, which is what? Negative 4x. Like that. And then you could, if you wanted to, put the negative 4x on top of the 2 square root of negative 2x squared plus 1. And then you could even reduce that like that. So with that problem, I took a little shortcut by knowing what the derivative of the square root of something is, right? That's where I got this first piece from. I've asked you to memorize that, right? But that only works for square roots. So let's look at number 7 here. Let's scroll up here. Let's look at number 7. For this problem, I did not give you something to memorize, did I? Which means that you can't just say that that's 1 over 2 cube root. You can't, because I never said that's the case. It only works for square root. So for this problem, what I suggest you do is that before you start, rewrite this as to the 1/3 power. That's what the cube root means. And now use your power rule, right? Power comes out, subtract 1 from the power. Stephen here? Stephen? All right, Stephen, yes. I may learn names at some point. Stephen, did you get it going yet?
Yes.
You want to tell me what you got to start off?
1/3
Okay.
times -2 x to the 4th plus 5.
Okay, and then tell me, Stephen, what are you going to do here to determine this power? What are you doing? Subtracting 1 from that, right? So, negative 2/3. Good. Negative 2/3. All right, Stephen, good. Are you done? No. Got a little bit more.
Times -8x to the 3rd.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. You get that? Yes? Anybody have a question on that? You might be called next, so here's time to ask questions. Yes?
In this case, you wouldn't be able to multiply the negative 8x to the front?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you could put this out here,
Okay.
but just in,
You don't need to, but if
you don't need to for right now. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Ooh. Wow. There's one. We're going to do this for another 15 minutes, and that's it, and then we're moving on. So let's see how much we can get done. Write it down, start working it out. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to call on somebody. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Random number between 1 and 23.
21.
All right. Okay, Matthew, you're going to be the one I'm calling, so, all right. So do you have any questions before I call you? You still working?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Power report.
Okay.
So do we just, whenever separating out with the product rule, do we just leave that there?
Yeah, so you're seeing a product right here? Okay. Let's walk through it. Can we walk through it together? Okay, so you see a product right here. That's good. And then tell me what you did for the first part then.
So I did the just 9x squared.
So just derivative of this whole thing, which was 9x squared. Good. And then what did you write next to that?
Parentheses, negative 4x squared minus 3 to the power of 4.
Okay, good. So you did the first part of the product rule, right? That's the derivative of the first one times the second. Then we say plus, right? Okay, is this where you're having the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can ignore this right now, right? Just ignore that. You're just trying to take derivative of this. So that's kind of like the problem we just did a minute ago, right? You have something to a power. So you start out with that power. You see it?
Yeah. So it's just going to be like 4.
4.
Negative 8x.
Careful, you don't touch this yet, right? Because you're working on the 4 first.
Negative 4x squared minus 3.
There you go. Okay, now you can say times the derivative of what's in here. And you said that was what?
3x to the third.
Hold on. We're just taking derivative of this right now, right? So the 4 came out, all of that to the third.
Oh, it's just going to be the negative 8x.
Negative 8x, okay, good. And then there's one more thing, and this is what students, they get so like embedded in what they're trying to do with the chain rule, they forget that they're in the middle of a product rule, right? So you have to actually finish the product rule by multiplying by what? Right, remember this is the derivative of this times this plus the derivative of that times what? The first one. So we still need that over here. So if we were to kind of color code things, this is F, right? This is G, bless you. This right here is F prime. This is G plus this whole thing right here is G prime and then times F. Everyone see that? Matthew, did that help going through it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking yet. Try to get it going first. This thing we're working on right now, this worksheet, I just emailed it to all of you, all right? It's just if you want to have something. I think what's nice about this practice sheet is at the end it has all the answers. And when it shows the answers, you can kind of see it gives the raw derivative, and then they clean it up. So I haven't looked at every problem on here, but I can't imagine that it would be bad for you to do this, all right? So all right, that's the one we're looking at. Okay. Anybody there yet? Raw derivative? Couple? Melanie? Where's Melanie? 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 No? I'm randomly generating a number and then picking it off here, so you know I'm not picking on you. I had a student in my other class tell me I was picking on her. Okay. Sophia? Okay. Can you see it okay? Yeah. All right, how did you feel about it? So what do you see? Like when you look at that, like what do you see?
I see a
Quotient. That's like the overlying everything is that we have a quotient. We have something on top, something on the bottom. Okay? So the derivative of a quotient is, go ahead, I'm going to let you go.
It's f prime times g.
So we're going to take derivative of this and then multiply times this and then subtract from that
Derivative of the bottom and the top.
and then all of that over the bottom squared, right? Hey, how about we do that first? I'm prepping this up. How about we do the bottom